Hey, real quick before the story starts, if you like lit reading, I've got something new you might enjoy. It's called New Tales Told, original short stories. Same voice, same vibe. Just search for New Tales Told right here in this podcast app. And just so you're not surprised, there may be some ads before the story. Sorry, we have to pay the bills.
Discover your secret weapon for younger-looking skin from Medik8, a clinically proven British skincare brand known for age-defying results. Collagen is key to visibly firmer, smoother, and younger-looking skin. As we age, our bodies naturally produce less collagen, and the existing collagen we do have breaks down. Here's where Medik8's new Advanced Pro Collagen Plus Peptide Cream comes in. Formulated with advanced actives that help stimulate the skin's natural collagen production, Medik8's Advanced Pro Collagen Plus Peptide Cream is an anti-wrinkle moisturizer clinically proven to visibly improve skin firmness, elasticity, and reduce the appearance of deep-set wrinkles. Visit medik8.us, that's MEDIK and the number 8.us to discover more. Use code PODCAST20 to save 20% off your order.
Hey guys, it's Paige from Giggly Squad, and if you're anything like me, holiday shopping has officially started. And you know where I'm going? Ulta Beauty. They have the cutest gift sets right now, like the Sol de Janeiro, Shea Rosa, and Cheer Perfume Mist Trio. It smells so good. I've been misting it everywhere. On me, on the street, on my pillow. It's a whole vibe. I'm obsessed with the Tarte Kindness Cafe Collector Set. It's packed with everyday makeup must-haves, and it's honestly too cute to wrap. And if you need a cozy little self-care moment, the Moroccan Oil Hand Care Essentials Kit is luxe, hydrating, and smells delicious. Don't worry if you can't decide right now. An Ulta Beauty gift card is the perfect gift for everyone. So whether you're gifting your bestie or yourself, make the season yours and head to Ulta Beauty today. Ulta Beauty, gifting happens here.
Welcome to Lit Reading. I'm Don McDonald. There's a certain kind of story that asks us to sit still for a moment and face something we don't often look at directly. The story you're about to hear is one of those. It takes place in the far northern wilderness, where winter does not forgive mistakes, and where life and death have their own uncomplicated logic. It's a simple story on the surface, but it echoes. This is The Law of Life by Jack London. Old Koskoosh listened greedily. Though his sight had long since faded, his hearing was still acute, and the slightest sound penetrated to the glimmering intelligence which yet abode behind the withered forehead, but which no longer gazed forth upon the things of the world. Ah, that was Sitcomtoha, shrilly anathematizing the dogs as she cuffed and beat them into their harnesses. Sitcomtoha was his daughter's daughter, but she was too busy to waste a thought upon her broken grandfather, sitting alone there in the snow, forlorn and helpless. Camp must be broken. The long trail waited while the short day refused to linger. Life called her, and the duties of life, not death. And he was very close to death now. The thought made the old man panicky for the moment, and he stretched forth a palsied hand which wandered tremblingly over a small heap of dry wood beside him. Reassured that it was indeed there, his hand returned to the shelter of his mangy furs, and he again fell to listening. The sulky crackling of half-frozen hides told him that the chief's moose-skin lodge had been struck, and even then was being rammed and jammed into portable compass. The chief was his son, stalwart and strong, head man of the tribesmen and a mighty hunter. As the women toiled with the camp luggage, his voice rose, chiding them for their slowness. Old Koskoosh strained his ears. It was the last time he would hear that voice. There went Geehow's lodge, and Tuscan's. 7, 8, 9. Only the shamans could still be standing. There, they were at work upon it now. He could hear the shaman grunt as he piled it on the sled. A child whimpered, and a woman soothed it with soft, crooning gutturals. Little Cootie, the old man thought. A fretful child, and not over-strong. It would die soon, perhaps, and they would burn a hole through the frozen tundra and pile rocks above to keep the wolverines away. Well, what did it matter? A few years at best, and as many an empty belly as a full one. And in the end, death waited, ever hungry and hungriest of them all. What was that? Oh, the men lashing the sleds and drawing tight the thongs. He listened, who would listen no more. The whiplashes snarled and bit among the dogs. Hear them whine! How they hated the work and the trail! They were off. Sled after sled churned slowly away into the silence. They were gone. They had passed out of his life, and he faced the last bitter hour alone. No. The snow crunched beneath the moccasin. A man stood beside him. Upon his head a hand rested gently. His son was good to do this thing. He remembered the other men whose sons had not waited after the tribe, but his son had. He wandered away into the past till the young man's voice brought him back. "Is it well with you?" the son asked. The old man answered, "It is well." "There be wood beside you," the younger man continued, "and the fire burns bright. The morning is gray, and the cold has broken. It will snow presently. Even now it is snowing." "Aye, even now it is snowing." The tribesmen hurry. Their bales are heavy and their bellies flat with lack of feasting. The trail is long and they travel fast. I go now. Is it well? It is well. I am as a last year's leaf clinging lightly to the stem. The first breath that blows, and I fall. My voice has become like an old woman's. My eyes no longer show me the way of my feet, and my feet are heavy, and I am tired. It is well." He bowed his head in content till the last noise of the complaining snow had died away, and he knew his son was beyond recall. Then his hand crept out in haste to the wood. It alone stood between him and the eternity that yawned in upon him. At last the measure of his life was a handful of faggots. One by one they would go to feed the fire, and just so, step by step, death would creep upon him. When the last stick had surrendered up its heat, the frost would begin to gather strength. First his feet would yield, then his hands, and the numbness would travel slowly from the extremities to the body. His head would fall forward upon his knees, and he would rest. It was easy. All men must die. He did not complain. It was the way of life, and it was just. He had been born close to the earth. Close to the earth he had lived, and the law thereof was not new to him. It was the law of all flesh. Nature was not kindly to the flesh. She had no concern for that concrete thing called the individual. Her interest lay in the species, the race. This was the deepest abstraction old Koskoosh's barbaric mind was capable of, but he grasped it firmly. He saw it exemplified in all life: the rise of the sap, the bursting greenness of the willow bud, the fall of the yellow leaf. In this alone was told the whole history. But one task did nature set the individual. Did he not perform it? He died. Did he perform it? It was all the same. He died. Nature did not care. There were plenty who were obedient, and it was only the obedience in this matter, not the obedient, which lived and lived always. The tribe of Koskoosh was very old. The old men he had known when a boy had known old men before them. Therefore it was true that the tribe lived, that it stood for the obedience of all its members, way down into the forgotten past, whose very resting places were unremembered. They did not count. They were episodes. They had passed away like clouds from a summer day. He also was an episode and would pass away. Nature did not care. To life she set one task, gave one law. To perpetuate was the task of life. Its law was death. A maiden was a good creature to look upon, full-breasted and strong, with spring to her step and light in her eyes. But her task was yet before her. The light in her eyes brightened, her step quickened. She was now bold with the young men, now timid, and she gave them of her own unrest. And ever she grew fairer and yet fairer to look upon, till some hunter, able no longer to withhold himself, took her to his lodge to cook and toil for him, and to become the mother of his children. And with the coming of her offspring, her looks left her. Her limbs dragged and shuffled, her eyes dimmed and bleared, and only the little children found joy against the withered cheek of the old squaw by the fire. Her task was done, but a little while, on the first pinch of famine or the first long trail, and she would be left, even as he had been left, in the snow, with a little pile of wood. Such was the law. He placed a stick carefully upon the fire and resumed his meditations. It was the same everywhere, with all things. The mosquitoes vanished with the first frost. The little tree squirrel crawled away to die. When age settled upon the rabbit, it became slow and heavy and could no longer outfoot its enemies. Even the big bald face grew clumsy and blind and quarrelsome, in the end to be dragged down by a handful of yelping huskies. He remembered how he had abandoned his own father on an upper reach of the Klondike one winter, the winter before the missionary came with his talk books and his box of medicines. Many a time had Koskoosh smacked his lips over the recollection of that box, though now his mouth refused to moisten. The painkiller had been especially good, but the missionary was a bother after all, for he brought no meat into the camp, and he ate heartily, and the hunters grumbled. But he chilled his lungs on the divide by the Mayo, and the dogs afterward nosed the stones away and fought over his bones. Koskoosh placed another stick on the fire and harked back deeper into the past. There was the time of the great famine, when the old men crouched empty-bellied by the fire and let fall from their lips dim traditions of the ancient day when the Yukon ran wide open for 3 winters and then lay frozen for 3 summers. He had lost his mother in that famine. In the summer the salmon run had failed, and the tribe looked forward to the winter and the coming of the caribou. Then the winter came, but with it there were no caribou. Never had the like been known, not even in the lives of the old men. But the caribou did not come, and it was the 7th year, and the rabbits had not replenished, and the dogs were not but bundles of bones. And through the long darkness the children wailed and died, and the women, and the old men, and not 1 in 10 of the tribe lived to meet the sun when it came back in the spring. That was a famine. But he had seen times of plenty, too, when the meat spoiled on their hands and the dogs were fat and worthless with overeating. Times when they let the game go unkilled, and the women were fertile, and the lodges were cluttered with sprawling men-children and women-children. Then it was the men became high-stomached and revived ancient quarrels and crossed the divides to the south to kill the Pellies, and to the west they might sit by the dead fires of the Tannanas. He remembered, when a boy, during a time of plenty, when he saw a moose pulled down by the wolves. Xing-ha lay with him in the snow and watched. Xing-ha, who later became the craftiest of hunters, and who, in the end, fell through an air hole on the Yukon. They found him, a month afterward, just as he had crawled halfway out and frozen stiff to the ice. But the moose, Xing-ha and he had gone out that day to play at hunting after the manner of their fathers. On the bed of the creek they struck the fresh track of a moose, and with it the tracks of many wolves. "An old one," Xing-ha said. "An old one who cannot keep up with the herd. "The wolves have cut him out from his brothers, and they will never leave him." Eager-footed, they took to the trail. Hot they were on the heels of the chase, reading the grim tragedy fresh written at every step. Now they came to where the moose had made a stand. Thrice the length of a grown man's body, in every direction, the snow had been stamped about and uptossed. In the midst were the deep impressions of the splay-hoofed game, and all about, everywhere, were the lighter footwork of the wolves. Some, while their brothers harried the kill, had lain to one side and rested. The full-stretched impress of their bodies in the snow was as perfect as though made the moment before. One wolf had been caught in a wild lunge of the maddened victim and trampled to death. A few bones, well picked, bore witness. Again they ceased the uplift of their snowshoes at the second stand. Here the great animal had fought desperately. Twice he had been dragged down, and twice he had shaken his assailants clear. Yet life was dear to him. And yet again they came to where the moose had made to mount the bank and gain the timber. But his foes had lain upon from behind, till he reared and fell back upon them, crushing two deep in the snow. It was plain the end was near. Their brothers had left them untouched, for the kill was at hand. 2 more stands were passed, brief in time and close together. The trail was red now, and the clean stride of the great beast had grown short and slovenly. Then they heard the first sounds of the final struggle. Not the full-throated cry of the chase, but the short, snarling bark of tooth against flesh. Crawling to a young spruce, they peered forth. It was the end. The old bull moose, torn and bloody, stood at bay, surrounded by the flashing forms of gray. His great branching horns swept the snow, striking and tossing, but the wolves dodged and crouched and leaped, their white fangs glistening and their eyes blazing. The picture was still strong with him, and his dim eyes watched the end play out again. He had done great deeds since that day, and men had whispered his name with awe. But nothing had ever burned itself more deeply into his memory than the sight of the moose at the last stand. For long he pondered the days of his youth, till the fire died down and the frost bit deeper. He replenished it with 2 sticks and judged his grip on life by what remained. If Sitcomtuha had only remembered her grandfather and gathered a larger armful, his hours would have been longer. But she was ever careless and honored not her ancestors. Well, what matter? Had he not done likewise in his own quick youth? For a while he listened to the silence. Perhaps the heart of his son might soften and he would return. But no, not a stir. Nothing. He alone took breath in the midst of the great silence. It was very lonely. Hark! What was that? A chill passed over his body. The familiar, long-drawn howl broke the void, and it was close at hand. And then, on his darkened eyes, was projected the vision of the old bull moose, the torn flanks and bloody sides, the riddled mane and the great branching horns tossing to the last. He again saw the flashing forms of gray, the gleaming eyes, the lolling tongues, the slavered fangs. And he saw the inexorable circle close in till it became a dark point in the midst of the stamped snow. A cold muzzle thrust against his cheek, and at its touch his soul leaped back to the present. His hand shot into the fire and dragged out a burning faggot. The wolf retreated, calling to his brothers, and they answered till a ring of crouching, jaw-slobbering gray was stretched round about. He waved the brand wildly, and the snarls rose, but the panting brutes refused to scatter. Now one wormed his chest forward, dragging his haunches after. Now a second, now a third, but never a one drew back. Why should he cling to life, he asked. He dropped the stick. It hissed in the snow and went out. The circle closed in. Jack London lived a fast and difficult life. Born in 1876, he worked as a sailor, laborer, and prospector before ever publishing a story. He wrote directly from what he saw and survived, and his work captured the raw edge of living closer to nature than most of us ever will. If you enjoyed this story, please leave a quick 5-star review for LitReading and share the show with someone who loves good stories. You can also find more classic and original readings at shortstoryverses.com. I'm Don McDonald. Thanks for listening.
Hi, this is NBA champion, host of Road Tripping, Richard Jefferson, and today I want to talk to you about Boost Mobile. The holidays can get hectic fast. Family, travel, gifts, and trying to keep up with it all. That's why Boost Mobile is keeping things simple this season with deals that make holiday shopping feel like a treat, not a chore. When you bring your own phone and switch to Boost Mobile's $25 unlimited plan, you get unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month. No trade-ins, no contracts, no hassle, just straightforward savings that keep your wallet full while still checking off your list. It's the kind of win you don't have to work for. Easy, affordable, and built to keep you connected on and off the court. Visit boostmobile.com to start saving. After 30 gigabytes, customers might experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 per month as long as they remain active on Boost Mobile Unlimited plan.
Discover your secret weapon for younger-looking skin from Medicate, a clinically proven British skincare brand known for age-defying results. Collagen is key to visibly firmer, smoother, and younger-looking skin. As we age, our bodies naturally produce less collagen, and the existing collagen we do have breaks down. Here's where Medicate's new Advanced Pro Collagen Plus Peptide Cream comes in. Formulated with advanced actives that help stimulate the skin's natural collagen production, Medicate's Advanced Pro Collagen Plus Peptide Cream is an anti-wrinkle moisturizer clinically proven to visibly improve skin firmness, elasticity, and reduce the appearance of deep-set wrinkles. Visit medicate.us, that's MEDIK and the number 8.us to discover more. Use code PODCAST20 to save 20% off your order.
Hey guys, it's Paige from Giggly Squad, and if you're anything like me, holiday shopping has officially started. And you know where I'm going? Ulta Beauty. They have the cutest gift sets right now, like the Sol de Janeiro, Shea Rosa, and Cheer Perfume Mist Trio. It smells so good. I've been misting it everywhere. On me, on the street, on my pillow. It's a whole vibe. I'm obsessed with the Tarte Kindness Cafe Collector Set. It's packed with everyday makeup must-haves, and it's honestly too cute to wrap. And if you need a cozy little self-care moment, the Moroccan Oil Hand Care Essentials Kit is luxe, hydrating, and smells delicious. Don't worry if you can't decide right now. An Ulta Beauty gift card is the perfect gift for everyone. So whether you're gifting your bestie or yourself, make the season yours and head to Ulta Beauty today. Ulta Beauty, gifting happens here.
Thanks for listening all the way to the end. You're officially a story finisher, and I appreciate that more than you know. If you're curious what else I'm up to, check out one of my other podcasts, New Tales Told. It's brand new, original short fiction written and narrated by me. Just search New Tales Told in this app. And thanks so much for listening to Lit Reading, now part of the Storyverses channel at storyverses.com.